Montgomery Village is unique. It is an area that was developed as a planned community of over 2,000 acres. It is now 50 years old, and when the council put down the zoning, as part of the zoning, there was a 50-year prohibition on local rezonings. And so this is before you now because that 50-year period has elapsed and there's some interest in some redevelopment.
I look to the Vision 2030 plan that from 2011 knew that this was on the horizon. This isn't something that was a surprise to many because we knew for a very long time about the challenges of this golf course and maintaining it. And in the 2030 plan, it said, we want it to continue to be a golf course, but if it can't, we want you to try and retain as much open space as possible to be dedicated to parkland. And I think that's what this represents in terms of a recommendation. As a person who is a golfer, I don't see golf courses as open space for the public. Even our public golf courses that I play on quite frequently, Little Bennett being one of the largest and most expansive and I think most beautiful courses, is not public. I don't see people traveling along the golf paths there, traveling along because first, A, it's not safe and it's not permitted. I mean, so those kinds of things in terms of its restrictive nature are things that are important for us to be honest about. This was not public accessible open space. This was space that was for a private golf course where you had to be a member. And so I think that we are now transitioning into something that is going to be open to the public, that everyone does not have to purchase a membership for and will be able to walk on and do what they want, whether it's playing Frisbee. You won't be able to fly drones, but you will be able to do all kinds of other things on this property. And that's an asset. That's something that's a plus at a time when there's so much pressure for development, that we are still remaining true to our commitment and to the commitment of the people. See, this Vision 2030 plan came from the Montgomery Village community, and they're the ones that asked for this. They're the ones who also recognized and said that if the golf course were to cease operations and funding could not be secured to maintain, that a plan of mixed housing, which would provide minimal impact to existing views by adding landscaping and carefully siting new homes while retaining most of the golf course for green space and recreational active and passive space, could be developed. Well, that's what I think this plan tries to represent, the spirit of that 2030 vision that the community came up with, not a developer, not someone outside of Montgomery Village, not planning. This was the community with charrettes. And so I think for this crux of this open space, the reality of understanding that the community knew that this was a challenge, this was not a surprise, but coming up with the best situation to try and move us forward and get something that's going to be a plus for many of those community members, I think is the way to go.